I want you to begin by allowing my words to speak softly to the innermost corners of your soul. Have you ever pondered how much your life might change if you started each morning by putting your concerns in my hands and allowed your heart to rest in complete peace? Pause for a while and allow that idea to settle inside you. I want you to begin by allowing my words to speak to you. Off this day on, with a calm mind, a trusting heart, and a self-assurance that is rooted in my unending kindness, I see your worries, your fears, and your loads, and I am here to lift them off your tired shoulders. I welcome you to walk with me, step by step, to accomplish this. I want you to appreciate the beauty of my presence and to learn that you are never alone. I'm speaking to you now in the simplest of terms because I want you to comprehend how deeply I care for you. I want you to hear my message without experiencing feelings of disconnection or being overpowered. Each sentence is intended to bring you closer to a state of serenity so that you may identify that my heart beats with love for you and that there is a sweetness in my heart for you. As you read, let peace to settle over your whole being and feel the steadfastness of my love encircling you. It will refresh you and whisper hope into your soul. Stillness in the soft stillness that allows your soul to listen when the clamor of life gets too loud, when questions and concerns emerge in your thoughts. Simply stop. Let your heart to remember that I am here providing you my consolation. You are not wasting time when you choose to be, because I am here giving you my comfort. When you remain silent in front of me, you are really giving yourself the gift of resting in my proximity. In that calm space, you are able to experience my compassion and comprehend my promise. You are not abandoned, nor are you ever deserted in your times of exhaustion. When your thoughts are racing and you are unable to choose which way to go, look up and whisper my name. Let go of the notion that you have to figure everything out on your own. Instead, surrender your restless heart to my guidance. The greatest miracles frequently occur when you let go of control and allow me to act with the power that only I possess. This day is a holy invitation that I hold, and I invite you to come into the stillness of my presence, where you will discover clarity, knowledge, and the healing that your soul longs for. My love for you is unchanging, and it does not change with the seasons. I am here with my arms extended, ready to raise you up and place you back on solid ground. There is nothing you can do that will cause me to stop caring for you, regardless of your mood, your achievements or failures, or even if you stumble, fall, or lose your path. I am here. There are some people who fear that if they make a mistake, I would turn away in wrath. Nevertheless, I want you to realize that acceptance is not reliant on your perfection, but rather it is founded in my everlasting heart. You are treasured, and you will always be of incalculable value in my sight. Every fiber of your being, that I do not forsake those who seek me. If you admit that you have strayed and wish to return, I am ready to welcome you with my unlimited mercy if you allow me to forget your mistakes and place them in the depths of my forgiveness, your past. No matter what you have done in the past, longer has the ability to define you. My love for you is beyond all comprehension, and that love is accessible right now. I have made promises in my word that continue to be alive and powerful for you. And when you trust these promises, they will continue to be available to you. If you do not believe that my forgiveness is genuine, if you do not accept the fresh beginning that I provide, and if you do not open your heart to the love of an eternal and all-powerful Creator, then my forgiveness will not become real in your life. It will begin to influence your viewpoint and modify your behavior. Words will bloom inside you, and streams of life will pour from your deepest being, providing you with the power and bravery to oppose the plots of darkness that are attempting to hurt you. Today can be fantastic. Tomorrow can be too, and every day after that can be full with hope. I'm anxious for you to wake up every day in my presence to hear my voice, to pour out your frustrations and your jubilation in front of me, to let me partake in your goals and to let me help you map out the future. Why restrict this sensation of wonder to just one day? The path to your dreams, the pressure that you put on yourself, the burden that robs you of peace, the fear that I want to punish you for every slip, or the fear that I am furious with you for your mistakes, the fear that I want to punish you for every slip, the fear that I want to punish you for every mistake, to recognize your identity, beloved child, chosen one for forever, and precious to me. Heart, you do not have to live in a state of dread. You do not have to tremble at the thought that I am angered and ready to strike you down. You must realize that my ultimate aim is not to punish you, but rather to restore you. My intentions are to lead you. When you turn your eyes toward me, you will discover a tranquility that the world cannot supply. Even in the face of disconcerting news from a doctor or the stress of financial commitments, I tell you that I possess the power to bring you to a life of completeness, not a life that is burdened down by guilt or regret. I want to leave you with one last word. My healing power is beyond the limitations that you may believe exist, and my providence has methods of providing for you that seem to be impossible to human reasoning. If you are concerned about how you will provide for your family, trust that I perceive your situation, and do not be afraid of what the other people may say. There are many who insult your religion, but your faith is important in my sight. I will arrange a location of blessing for you, not to disgrace those who mock, but to show you that my love can and does work in your life. Do not waste your energy on revenge, but spend your heart in. You may trust me and watch as I bring resources and people into your path that you never anticipated. This is how I operate. I open doors that you previously believed were forever closed. I am the source of what you need, and your provisions do not ultimately originate from me. If you are burdened by bills and commitments, if you have lost your job or are trying to find meaningful employment, remember that I am able to do the inconceivable. I can bring opportunities and expose you to connections in areas you never knew existed. If you are struggling to find meaningful work, remember that I am able to accomplish the unimaginable. At times, I may even change the course of your whole life, bringing you to a purpose that is far more significant than the one you had initially envisioned. When you are confronted with an unexpected event that brings about a significant improvement in your circumstances, you should identify it as my hand at work, even though you may not be aware of it at the time. I have already sent my angels to lead your feet. They will show you the routes to travel, the doors to knock upon, and the faces that will meet you with grace and new abilities that you are not acquainted with. If you feel as like you are wandering in darkness, seeking frantically for open doors, I have already sent my angels to guide your steps. There are opportunities and innovative ideas waiting for you, and I take great pleasure in watching you blossom as you observe how a little seed of faith planted inside your heart may result in a bountiful harvest for your home and for others. I have a wide community all around you, individuals whose hearts I touch. Therefore, in order for them to assist you in searching for such folks, you should treat them with kindness and humility and discover the strength of fellowship that I put around you. Even if you are experiencing a tremendous deal of grief or carrying burdens that you have not talked about, you should not underestimate the power of a real friend. It is not necessary to appear to be happy in a dishonest manner, but you may use my pleasure to support you even in the midst of your own troubles, whether it be with a colleague or a friend. Your simple act of compassion might ignite hope in the eyes of someone else who is suffering through loneliness or pain. As you shine, people will be attracted to the kindness they perceive in you, which is actually my presence pouring through your life. Whether it be a friend or a stranger on the street, your simple acts of love and encouragement may blossom into healing for them. Never assume that you have nothing to offer. Left to give, I have put talents and skills inside you, some of which are obvious and some of which are hidden, and they have the capacity to influence the environment around you when you release them by trusting me. Not only do you find pleasure, but you also inspire others in ways that you may never fully understand you are capable of. The world may judge your worth, based on your accomplishments, riches, or power, but my viewpoint is far more expansive. I want you, darling one, to carry within you bits of my light that are created to lighten the way for others who are tired, dejected, and unsure. You are the product of my hands, fashioned with a one-of-a-kind combination of strengths, oddities, hopes, and goals. You are not here by mistake or by chance. You are here because I made the decision to be here. You are different in my eyes. Your value is above any measure. That the world needed you. I see capabilities within you that are still dormant. Sometimes I allow trials to come your way to bring out these hidden strengths, to refine you, and to teach you compassion. I know the thoughts you do not voice, the pain you hide beneath your brave face, and the tears you shed when you are in a difficult situation. I also see the bravery you exhibit when you choose to continue ahead in spite of the obstacles you face. I notice it, and it warms my heart. Please do not underestimate the value of your tale in my hands. Even the most difficult chapters of your life may become a witness to the fact that you have overcome adversity. Resiliency and hope. Keep in mind that whenever you experience feelings of being undervalued or rejected, my opinion of you will never change, and no one has the ability to alter my unwavering affection for you. Your past may feel like a heavy chain around your ankles, preventing you from moving freely into the future through painful memories. I do not hold any record of wrongs against those who come to me with a sincere heart, asking for forgiveness and healing. If I choose to bury your past, you can trust that it is buried forever. Let go of the condemnation that you place upon yourself, or the mistakes that you regret can cause you to question whether you deserve new opportunities. Hear me clearly, you do. I offer you the freedom to go on, without the shadows of yesterday defining your destiny. Other people may attempt to remind you of your previous misdeeds and use them to define or disparage you. But I have given you a new identity that transcends any failure or setback. I give you the freedom to embrace the freedom. Know you are treasured, redeemed, and renewed. If people misunderstand or abuse you, remember that I perceive your real value. The only labels that count are the ones I give you: worthy, beautiful, chosen. Let these truths to flood your heart, washing away any feeling of unworthiness or inadequacy that you may have. Instead of focusing on what you do not have or what you have lost, you should start counting the blessings that are all around you. You will find serenity in this new beginning, and in that calm, you will discover joy that radiates and impacts every aspect of your life. The quiet moments when you feel my presence consoling you, the kind remark from a friend who stays by you in tough times, and the sunlight that softly warms your face every day are all examples of the fact that thankfulness is more than just a feeling. When you develop appreciation, you open the doors for even more benefits to come into your life. Your praise echoes in the spiritual world, and it opens windows of hope healing. It is a powerful method to perceive my kindness in the tiniest parts of life. You are declaring that you trust my continuing work, and that you understand that I have never ceased caring for you when you take a moment to appreciate the blessings that have been bestowed upon you. Praise is more than a song or a prayer. It is the posture of a heart that is aware that it is cared for, safeguarded, and cherished, nourished by a love that lasts forever. I comprehend your silent cries, even if no one else sees. I see the tears that flow at night when concern overshadows your thoughts. Sometimes you look at your life and see broken promises, goals that seemed just a little bit out of reach. So vivid, but never came to pass, partnerships that seemed eternal, but disappeared in these times. I ask you to leave all of your broken hopes in my hands. I am the one who can restore new life from the ashes of your former aspirations and dreams. I am the one who calls you by name and never forgets you. Allow me to remind you of the promise that lies in front of you. I am here to hug you, to hold you, and to breathe fresh purpose into those tired bones. Do not shift your attention backward in the direction of disappointment. If you are experiencing feelings of regret or envy, you should look forward to the bright future that I have planned for you. You could be shaking with dread, thinking that the best has already passed you by, but you should listen to my encouragement, because the greatest is still to be revealed when I alter your life. Every tear that you shed will be nourished into seeds of compassion that will benefit others. Every painful experience will become a source of empathy through which you may provide hope. This is the wonder of my methods. Remember the dreams that I planted in your heart and the hopes that you held in your heart. I assure you that nothing is impossible for me to resist the negative voices that claim you can't achieve your dreams or that you are unworthy of them. These words come from people who have been in your shoes before fear and doubt tried to suffocate them. You might think it's too late, that you are too old, or that you have fallen too far behind. However, I assure you that nothing is impossible for me. I look at you and see immense possibility potential waiting to be awakened at just the right time. If you choose to trust my perspective, you will realize that nothing good is withheld from you without purpose. If a door closes, it might be because I'm preparing for something. If you have never truly tasted the depths of my power, they might not see what I see. I never plan to see you in perpetual agony or futile effort. My methods may be higher than your comprehension, yet they are always woven with perfect love and wisdom. If a connection ends, it may be because I am directing you toward a stronger bond. I never mean to see you in perpetual suffering or fruitless effort. When you wake up, and your first thought is to say thank you for another day, you create a channel of blessing that may alter your whole life. When you are encouraged, your future is in my hands, and you are safe and purposeful. People often ask how to attain permanent satisfaction. Let me gently lead your heart toward appreciation. Gratitude is not a formula or a routine. Rather, it is a sincere acknowledgement that each and every breath is a gift. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude, you learn to see the beauty that can be found in the mundane and the little miracles that are sometimes overlooked. It is also important to remember to be grateful, thankful for the events that challenged you. Even if they were unpleasant at the time, they helped you become a more resilient and empathic person. It is during times of trouble that you often realize the depth of my love. Learn from adversity, rather than letting it to define you. The posture of gratitude may change burdens into lessons, fears into chances to trust me more thoroughly, and finally, true thanks fills your soul, providing calm in situations that formerly made you feel like you had no control over your life. Restless when you feel that your dignity has been trampled when others have stepped on your worth. Come into my embrace. Understand that you do not have to prove yourself to anyone who does not see your true value. Your identity is not defined by those who belittle you. I see you wrapped in a golden thread of purpose, each thread representing the value that you bring to the world. I want you to carry yourself with the calm confidence that comes from knowing that you are endlessly loved. I understand your silent shaking, and you wonder if you are walking on shaky ground. I have led you and comforted you in times. I want you to carry yourself with that assurance. If your hopes and ambitions are going to go when you least expect them, but there is a route that is filled with hope right in front of you, you should ignore the voices of envy and the naysayers who are trying to squelch your desires. Let my words anchor you. I am able to do far more than you can ever think. Believe that I have the power to perform miracles and that I long to share my goodness with you, with the exception of my promise that I will never take my eyes off of you. Many people forget that worship is not limited to songs sung in a building. Actually, true worship is the yearning of a heart that adores me for who I am and thanks me for my kindness. It is a way of life. You should acknowledge my presence in your life by having conversations with me in your house, in your vehicle, when you are walking or resting, and by sharing your everyday successes and challenges with me. You should also acknowledge that nothing you go through, is too tiny or too huge for my attention in that way. When you express my promises out loud, you reaffirm my truth inside your spirit. Words have weight. They may either elevate or break down. Let your words carry weight. When you worship, you connect with me on a deeper level. Your soul is fed, and you become conscious of my direction in every moment. Your words should be filled with faith, compassion, and honesty. Embrace authenticity with the knowledge that there is nothing hidden from my sight. I see your full self, and yet my care for you is steadfast. By shifting your emphasis toward thankfulness and truth, you set the way for our relationship to flourish. Pathway, for my blessings to pour into your life, regardless of how dry or desolate the season may seem. Some days you are burdened down by the worries of people you love. You look at your children, whether they are little or older, and worry whether they are safe. You doubt their choices, yearn to guide them onto the path that would lead them to life. Right path. Keep in mind that I, too, care deeply for them. Their names, their dreams, and their struggles are written on my heart. Even if you feel helpless to correct their course, trust me to keep them under my watchful care. Release the tension that builds up when you try to control what is beyond your control. Of reach, place your worries in prayer instead, and allow me to be the protector of their souls. If you notice that your children are wandering off, do not let panic take over. Instead, lift them up in my presence. Yes, there are times when you have to speak the truth and confront wrongdoing. And if you are going to speak up for what is right, do it with compassion rather than anger. Make your words reflect the same mercy that I have shown you. Avoid harshness, since it only serves to deepen wounds. Instead, correct with grace. Just as I educate you with gentleness, know that I am on your side. I'm still working in their hearts, even when it seems that they have closed every door to my voice. Human nature often reacts to fear with the instinct to control. You may observe a loved one making decisions that are concerning to you, and your instant response is to interfere in order to regulate each stage of their process. I guide you, I provide you knowledge, and I remind you of the rewards that come with obedience. But I do not force you. I respect your freedom to choose. And on the same note, I ask you to let go of the anxiousness that forces you to prescribe how you should live your life. I want you to keep healthy boundaries, because if someone's activities endanger the dignity of your home, you have the right to safeguard that. When you trust my sovereignty, you discover calm, and you understand that I can achieve more in a moment of grace than you can in 1,000 attempts of force. I ask you to live in harmony with others. Surroundings. But do so with a spirit of serenity, not in anger. Make your home safe, create boundaries when required, and talk honestly about the repercussions of hazardous actions. Through it all, continue in prayer and trust me to soften hearts and open eyes. My patience is beyond human comprehension, and my mercy never runs dry. Forgiveness is a gift that you offer to yourself as well as to others when you let go of anger, bitterness, and old grudges. I never get tired of working in people's lives. Do you understand that I have forgiven you many times, wiping clean each wrongdoing the instant you sincerely repent? I encourage you to treat your loved ones with the same spirit of forgiveness that you have shown me. May you release your heart from a prison that you have created for yourself. Mercy, you do not have to excuse their acts or pretend that the damage did not occur. Rather, you can choose to let go of the anger that is poisoning your soul. Think about the tale of your own offenses and remember how I intervened with healing and grace. Grace, you should also remember that I intervened with healing. Grace may flow through you to others, and although this does not necessarily mean that relationships will be entirely repaired, it does mean that your heart will be at rest. It means that you will let go of the want to cling to offense, and you will allow my love to wash over your wounds. I guarantee that in your readiness to forgive, you will find that you have found peace, a freeing lightness, and a renewed ability to love. There are times when accusers come forward, pointing fingers and whispering things that are designed to tear you down. They bring back your mistakes from the past in order to undermine the new life you have discovered. These accusations may cut deep, filling you with a sense of emptiness. When you are feeling ashamed or angry, it is important to keep in mind that I am your defender. Your worth has never been based on your perfect record of deeds. Rather, your value is rooted in the unending compassion that I have for you. I do not see you through the lens of judgment. Rather, I see you through the lens of compassion, lens of redemption. Let my words resound in your heart. Do not let these accusations to steal your pleasure or derail your development if you need to. Right a mistake. Do it with integrity. But do not let shame overtake you when you have already brought your faults before me. I have covered them with my compassion, and no human allegation can overrule the verdict of love that I have pronounced over your life. Speak the truth to yourself, and know that you are forgiven, refreshed, and tenderly cared for during those moments when it seems as if everyone is turning away and the night is coming to an end. At its darkest, take refuge in my arms. Your tears do not go unnoticed, even if your sadness is too deep to be put into words. I see it. I collect every tear as if it were a rare diamond. Each tear is a reflection of your tale. Let my tears reflect your story. It is possible that you may believe that I do not deserve that type of care, but this is the essence of my compassion, and it is not deserved by your successes or your actions. When the turmoil of life swirls around you, let my unchanging care settle your breathing. I am the unshakable rock upon which you may stand. Virtues, rather, are the overflowing manifestation of who I am. I heal the brokenhearted and raise those who are crushed in spirit. Rest in this fact. My goal is to see you entire. I want to replace your sorrow with dancing. I want to replace your despair with hope. When you emerge from adversity, I want you to be complete. We'll do so more powerfully, offering a witness that brings healing for those who suffer in darkness. I want you to continue talking to me not only today, but every day, inviting me into your morning routine, your lunchtime duties, and your evening activities. I listen closely to your innermost thoughts, whether you are saying a formal prayer or whispering a single nervous line. I also want you to listen to me in return. Sometimes my voice is a soft nudging in your heart, a nudge that tells you to pay attention to what you are saying. Do not underestimate the transformative power of consistent prayer. Prayer is not merely a wish list. Rather, it is the means by which I connect with you and guide you toward patience, generosity, or a particular decision. Other times I speak to you through the words of someone you meet at the perfect moment, or a verse you read that deeply resonates with you. The language of intimacy is a place where we may share our problems, wishes, and loves. As you continue to develop in this continuous discussion, you will see my direction more clearly. Obstacles will start to appear as chances to show my faithfulness. You will come to the realization that prayer has never been about anything else. Changing my will, but aligning your heart with what is good, pure, and enduring each day. Come to me and let's walk together through every situation you face at certain stages of life. You may wonder about your purpose, or you may doubt whether you still have something meaningful to contribute to the world. Let's walk through every situation together. I want to reassure you that as long as you continue to breathe, you will always have a reason to be here. I have placed talents, dreams, and a yearning for goodness within you. These are not coincidences. They are a reflection of the one-of-a-kind way that I designed you, providing you with the ability to bring comfort, creativity, and insight to those around you. Never believe the lie that you are not here. Despite the fact that your simple acts of kindness may resound in forever, such as a smile given to a stranger, a minute spent listening to a lonely soul, or a helping hand provided without expecting it, you are too old, too young, too imperfect or too ordinary to make a difference. Anything in return, they represent my heart and serve the cause of compassion. If you continue to pay attention to my direction, you will come to the realization that your daily life is full with chances to love and embrace other people that have been divinely designed. Nevertheless, there is a particular sort of relief that comes when you renounce the pride that thinks you can do everything on your own. Sometimes admitting weakness seems unpleasant, but my strength is made complete in your vulnerability. Do not be embarrassed of seeking assistance, and do not fear the consequences of doing so. Moment you are required to seek direction or mercy, pride often develops barriers, while humility constructs bridges. Bridges of friendship, support, and connection. As you give up your self-reliance, you create space for me to work. The emptiness that you feel transforms into the opportunity for me to work. Area in which I pour my grace, allowing you to go ahead in ways that you never thought imaginable. I want your surrender to be entire, not partial. I want every nook and cranny of your being to be open to my touch. I do not want any secret chamber of your heart to remain closed off, because every wound is a wound. Each and every door that is closed need my healing presence. When you let go of your pride, you create a healthy atmosphere for the growth of knowledge, compassion, and genuine pleasure. This is true whether you are determining how to manage conflict, selecting a job route, or any other situation. If you are thinking about how to provide care for a loved one, I am prepared to provide you with some insight. I do not withhold instruction from those who are sincerely seeking it. When you ask me for advice, you should do so with the expectation of receiving a response. Maybe not in the way that you anticipate, but in a way that would. Make sense in due time. Sometimes I assist you via your inner feeling of calm or unrest. If a choice appears to fill you with dread, it could be a signal to wait or rethink. If you find serenity, despite the problems, it may be the green light to continue. Never forget the significance of all that is going on in your life. Of patience. My timing is perfect, but it frequently differs from your own. While you may be in a hurry for an immediate response, I may be using the waiting period to develop your character, teach you persistence, or prepare you for a blessing that is not yet ready to be revealed. Trust the process. Trust that I will provide you with what you need. Compassion is more than a transitory sensation. It is a purposeful decision to care about the pain of another and to act upon that caring. In a society that is typically driven by self-interest, your desire to act from compassion is more important than knowing how to arrange your circumstances for your ultimate benefit. The ability to demonstrate empathy is a shining example of my heart. The kindness you extend may not always be returned, but it is important to keep in mind that genuine compassion is not contingent on obtaining anything in return. Rather, it is an outpouring of love that originates from having a knowledge of how deeply you feel. You may be the soothing voice or the reassuring presence that they sorely need. Give assistance even in tiny ways, such as a warm meal, an ear to listen, a letter of encouragement, or a helping hand at a difficult time. Having been loved, it is important to be conscious of individuals who make their way into your life. A difficult transition such as this creates ripples of goodness that extend further than you might realize. Every time you choose compassion over indifference, you participate in my mission of hearing in hearts. Your challenges are not without purpose, despite the fact that they may hurt and cause you to question the path that lies ahead of you. May also act as a catalyst for development, since trials often show the areas in your life that want improvement. They build traits like as patience, endurance, and empathy. They bring you into greater reliance on me, reminding you that you are not designed to bear the weight of life. Alone, I promise that I will never allow you to encounter more than you are capable of handling, as long as you hang on to my hand. My grace will sustain you in every season. Have courage. and remember that flowers frequently bloom most vibrantly after experiencing severe weather. Similarly, your soul may bloom after enduring harsh weather. Emerge from adversity with fresh vigor and insight. Pain can generate depth in your character that comfort and ease seldom can cling on to the certainty that I see what you cannot. I take advantage of the storms of life to assist you in discovering the resilience that I have put within you and to mold you. I am pouring new hope into your heart right now as you read this. I want your future to be filled with anticipation rather than dread, which is something that some people may attempt to fill your thoughts with. I want you to be someone who is capable of bringing hope to those who are going through their own darkness. I do not guarantee a life free from sorrow, but I do promise to walk with you through every valley and celebrate with you on every mountaintop. My light will lead you even when dense fog surrounds you standing steadfast. I encourage you to remember that my plans for you are good. I do not promise a life free from sadness. Against despondency, when negative ideas try to overwhelm you, counter them with recollections of my faithfulness in the past. Remember on the times you believed there was no answer, but you found a path ahead. And take note of how I arranged the right things in the appropriate places. I have placed individuals in your way, or choreographed circumstances, so that a door opened exactly when you needed it the most. That same care continues now and tomorrow. Breathe in this reality. There is a bright future for you because I am the protector of your destiny. Your life is a unique narrative that speaks of my kindness. I have a plan for you. The fact that you are still standing, breathing, and looking for anything after having been through storms, losses, and heartache is sufficient evidence that my hand is still upon you. You are aware that other people also see your endurance when they witness your actions. Your life itself becomes a message of resilience to people who feel their own storms are unrelenting. Do not conceal your wounds. Each scar is a memento of healing, a narrative of how you prevailed while you were in the middle of adversity. Trust in the midst of adversity. They see a hope that cannot be extinguished. When you share your experiences in an honest manner, you help other people realize that they are not alone. Through your openness, they learn that I can heal their wounds just as I did yours. This is how a living testimony works. One heart touching another, igniting the flame of faith, and igniting a chain reaction of compassion and empathy. Unity. You may never know how many people you inspire simply by refusing to give up and by living with unwavering trust. Peace can be elusive in a fast-paced world that demands constant performance. It is easy to feel that rest is a luxury you can't afford, especially when bills need to be paid and problems pile up high, yet I am able to find peace in the midst of all of these challenges. To remind you that you are more than your to-do list, more than your deadlines, and more than the sum of your parts. I will gently ask you to step away from the constant cacophony, even if it is just for a little moment each day. Turn off the noise, shut your eyes, and breathe with me. I will remind you that you are more than the aggregate of your parts. When you learn to live in my peace, concern loses its power over you. This serenity is not the absence of obstacles. Rather, it is the assurance that I am there in them. It is the unshakable certainty that no matter what happens, you are held securely by a love that is unwavering. I will not let you go if you discipline your heart to seek my calm. You will discover that your days become more manageable. You will have clarity in decision-making. You will have resilience in the face of hardship. You will have a capacity for compassion that shocks even you. You have been dreaming, planning, and hoping. I want to encourage you to put those goals in front of me for the next phase of your life. I want to be the first person you talk to whenever you come up with a new idea or come across a fresh prospect. You may be wondering why I should do that, but the reason is because when I am first in your plans, I am able to orchestrate details and make sure everything goes according to plan. When you include me from the beginning of your trip, you guarantee that your path will stay anchored in knowledge and integrity. Sometimes a dream has to be refined, and other times you are prepared sooner than you think. If your dream is in accordance with your values, then you will be able to align your circumstances in ways that you never anticipated. I have a purpose for you, and you will feel a rising enthusiasm and a confirmation in your heart that you are on the right route. If it is not, you will notice a restlessness that signals you to halt and reassess. This is not meant to discourage you. Rather, it is to encourage you to take a moment to reflect on what you are doing. However, in order to prevent you from going down a route that will lead to dissatisfaction, it is important to keep in mind that I am with you throughout the process. My timing is accurate, and my techniques, despite the fact that they may seem cryptic at times, always provide the greatest outcomes for your development and progress. You will eventually encounter criticism in your life. Some criticism may be well-intentioned and intended to help you improve, while other criticism may be the result of envy or misunderstanding. Regardless, you should face criticism with grace, listen silently, and gather whatever information you can from it. Useful insight. It may hold, get rid of what is harmful or inaccurate. Do not allow contempt or derision to take root in your heart and poison your sense of worth. I alone know your motivations, your capabilities, and the road I've set before you. When anger or bitterness wells up, when you give it to me, I can convert it. I can help you react with compassion when harshness was anticipated in this way, which reflects my character. Remember that your identity is grounded in my adoration, not in the changeable judgments of others. I can help you transform your anger into lessons of empathy and perseverance. It is important to keep your spirit humble, teachable, and open to constructive criticism. But you should not mistake your identity with the judgments that have been put upon you. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is to relax. Exhaustion confuses your judgment, drains your creativity, and prevents you from being creative. You're prone to negativity because I created you with a need for balance, a rhythm of work and rest. Respect that balance, admit your limits, and recognize that you are not a limitless source of energy. When your body and mind are exhausted, turn to me for renewal and cease your activities. I often plant seeds of inspiration. During rest, I whisper solutions to problems that seemed insurmountable, and I nurture dreams that were on the verge of withering. However, these seeds can only take root when your heart is in the right place. Frantic pace, turn off the distractions and allow yourself the space to replenish your soul. Is still sufficient to receive them. Embrace the gift of rest without feeling guilty, and as you do so, you will discover that you are better equipped to face challenges, make decisions, and care for the people around you. Allow my gentle voice to remind you that you are not defined by the constant activity that you engage in, but rather by the love and purpose that you have. Continuously flood into you. You have abilities, time, and resources, regardless of how restricted you perceive them to be. There is tremendous joy in utilizing these blessings to serve others. Look around and ask how I can help you in serving you. Align yourself with the caring forces that are all around you. The heartbeat of my nature service is not about gaining favor from me. Rather, it is an expression of thanks and appreciation for the favor I have already provided you. When you aid someone who is unable to repay you, you are reflecting the compassion that I offer to humanity's service on a daily basis. Additionally, it helps to foster unity within families and communities by encouraging individuals to work together toward a similar goal. This helps people build relationships of trust and camaraderie. It is important to remember that serving others may be as easy as providing a kind word or helping a neighbor carry groceries. When you provide someone with a secure environment in which they may tell their experience, you should let your service to be real and stem from love rather than duty or the quest of fame. By doing tiny acts of kindness, you can transform whole lives, including your own life. It is not a sign of weakness, but rather a typical experience when you are enticed by ideas, habits, or relationships that are detrimental to your soul. Lift your eyes to me, and I will strengthen you. Take each temptation as a chance to develop perseverance and discipline. And if you do fall, do not wallow in your defeat. Condemnation quickly turn back to me, and I will restore you. My grace is sufficient to help you conquer these struggles. Confront the core reasons of your temptations, which often arise from unmet emotional needs or unresolved sorrow. Open your heart to my healing, so that these temptations may be defeated. Your weaknesses may be handled, and if required, you should seek out accountable connections with people who can support and advise you in truth. The fight against temptation will polish your character and establish a tenacity that will allow you to weather future challenges. Always keep in mind that I am prepared to assist you in avoiding falling into the traps that have been laid before you. Faith is not a notion that exists in the abstract. Rather, it is the everyday decision to trust that I am who I claim to be, and that I will fulfill what I promise. Faith is the lens through which you see the world. Faith develops via prayer, worship, and the study of my teachings, but it also grows by action. Take steps of obedience even when you do not see the results of your actions. View the world with the confidence that even if things appear to be hopeless, I am still working behind the scenes. A complete image daring to hope when others have given up. At times your faith can seem little, like a flicker rather than a flame. Know that a flicker, when nourished, can become a blaze. Your task is not to produce a spectacular show of unshakable confidence in yourself and others. The purpose of this is not to keep the flame alive overnight. Rather, it is to keep the flame alive by continually turning to me. You will find that I am always around you, and as time passes, you will see exceptional results, not because of your power, but because you have put your confidence in me. The journey of life is a journey. My response is not to slam the door and leave you in the dark. Rather, I offer you a second chance and a fresh beginning. Each new day is an opportunity to realign your steps with my guidance. Since life is rarely a straight line, you may stumble off the path, encounter obstacles, or choose a direction that you later come to regret. Sometimes, the most significant breakthroughs occur after you have experienced a moment of failure. When you humble yourself and acknowledge that you need my assistance, your heart becomes fertile ground for change. Do not be afraid to ask me where I should go from here. I will show you the way. It can mean reconciling with someone you injured, making atonement for a mistake, or just forgiving yourself. This process can be difficult, but the serenity that arises afterward is priceless. Grab my hand and walk fearlessly into your future, putting behind the burden of. Families are like gardens that need regular care and arguments, and you should realize that with me, you are not destined to make the same errors. You may develop a better life that is built on lasting optimism and knowledge. As a result of misunderstandings and personality conflicts, anger may develop like weeds, but if every member stays rooted, the resentment will not flourish. My advice is that love may develop even in challenging circumstances, and you play an important role in this. Start each day by praying for your family and phoning them to remind them of your responsibility in promoting unity. By addressing me by name and requesting that I lead them, protect them, and fill their hearts with calm through this. A simple action might completely alter the environment of your household in the event that disagreements emerge. First, to plant the seeds of forgiveness and to refrain from fanning the flames with harsh words or obstinacy. Pride, on the other hand, approaches differences with a dedication to being respectful of one another in the world that places an emphasis on winning at any cost. Stand apart by placing an emphasis on harmony and on sometimes peace means making a sacrifice, giving up your entitlement to be right in order to establish a more profound connection with another person. does not imply that you fail to acknowledge significant problems or act as if everything is okay. Rather, it indicates that you approach issues with compassion, never losing sight of the fact that every member of the family is a loss that is deeply felt, whether it is the death of a loved one or the conclusion of a relationship. Grief might seem overpowering, whether it is caused by a relationship or a squandered opportunity. Please keep in mind that I am crying, just like a wave of the ocean that knocks you off your feet in these recent times. Alongside you, I have a strong understanding of your sadness. Allow me to comfort you while you traverse the. There is no need to put on a brave front when you are not capable of coming to me throughout the phases of mourning, shattered and weeping, and let my love to encompass your pain. Cherish the memories, but do not allow yourself to be broken. Let your sadness ensnare you, and as time goes on, you could start to see glimpses of hope coming back. The mourning, which serves as a reminder that life goes on, and the embrace of a friend, which serves to comfort you that you are not alone. Over time, you will slowly discover the courage to smile once again, to dream once more, and to love once more. To reiterate, healing does not imply forgetting the loss. Rather, it involves incorporating it into your life. I am an expert in converting your life narrative into a tale that will help you develop better empathy and compassion. I specialize in transforming your grief into a purpose, building resilience, and providing consolation that you may share with others who are going through a similar experience. It is important to be mindful of the ideas that you choose to linger on, since negativity is similar to there's a magnet that attracts more bad energy into your life, but when you concentrate on what is positive, commendable, and optimistic, you can change that. This is not about ignoring reality. Rather, it is about adjusting your mentality in order to create an environment that is conducive to possibility. Terrain. In order to enable you to see solutions and benefits that are not obvious to you while you are stuck in defiant thinking. Speak. Affirmations that are in agreement with my reality. You are competent, you are appreciated, and you are I. Instead, make a deliberate effort to replace destructive thinking patterns with phrases that match your perspective. As far as I am concerned, this daily refreshment of your mind is not a simple task. It demands. Notwithstanding the effects of effort and contemplation, the outcomes are transforming, resulting in a lighter spirit. As you continue to do this, you will develop a more distinct sense of direction and a fresh tenacity against discouragement. By practicing discipline, you will be astonished to see how your outlook on life as a whole improves and how. Once upon a time, you could only see issues in every endeavor, but now you are seeing solutions emerge. I want you to keep your eyes fastened on me through every delight and every sorrow. Yes, there will be times when you question me. Always keep in mind that there will be times when you feel like you are merely going through the motions, as well as times when you are feeling irritated. I want you to remember the occasions when I raised you up and that my faithfulness has not changed. From hopelessness, supplied in amazing ways, and gave you the courage to triumph over challenges that seemed to be insurmountable at the time. It is impossible to overcome these recollections, which act as anchors to remind you that I am reliable and that my love is unwavering. Consistently, I extend to you an invitation to trust me with a trust that gets deeper with each passing day. It should be clear from the way you deal with challenges, the way you rejoice in your benefits, and the way you interact with the people around you. My child, you do not go alone. I am always there to guide you, and my influence is always there. Do not allow your heart to be upset. I am inexhaustible, and my presence is always closer than you think. I will hold your future in my hands, and I will make things happen for you that will shimmer with hope. You do not need to be flawless in order to shine. All you need to do is let my light to shine. Light is important in a world that often seems to be dark. To flow through you, When you choose compassion over indifference and bravery to be your guiding principle, you become a beacon of hope for those who choose to overcome fear and forgive instead of seeking revenge. It is possible that others who see your actions may perceive something distinct about you, a tranquil certainty that goes beyond the present. Challenges that assurance is born from believing in my eternal promises to keep things. Even if you believe that your light is not very bright, I'm able to magnify its influence each and every time. There are moments throughout the day to encourage another person, whether it be via a reassuring text message, a sincere praise, or a prayer that is said in silence on their behalf. The love that you exhibit is a kind of. You are a mirror of my compassion for humanity, and you are participating in my efforts to express kindness. You become an instrument of change and a vessel of transformation as you continue to work on healing. All of your efforts, no matter how little they may seem to be, are valued by me, Grace. And I will utilize them to make a difference in people's lives in ways that you could never completely comprehend. In the event that you find yourself standing on the precipice of a formidable obstacle, doubtful about your ability to persevere, let me gently suggest that you remember to remind yourself that you have triumphed in the past and that you will triumph once again. Perseverance is not the lack of persistence. In spite of the challenges you are facing, you must make the choice to persevere and keep going ahead. I never anticipated that I would be able to handle this on my own. My strength is what you lack, and when you have insight, your path becomes clearer. Trials do not invalidate your faith. Rather, they improve it. Think of these times as opportunities for your spiritual muscles to expand, and do not give up hope when you find yourself in a situation like this. It seems that progress is sluggish or non-existent. Seeds sown in dark soil need some time to germinate. They eventually germinate, and when they do, they show signs of robust life by breaking through to the sunshine. Character empathy and a witness that will inspire those who are going through difficult times are both developed through your resilience in the dark places. In the same way, pride may create walls between you and other people, and even between you and yourself. In contrast, humility is the key that unlocks the doors of insight, and you and my guiding voice. There is no weakness in a humble heart when it comes to reconciliation and true community. On the contrary, it is robust enough to allow itself to make errors, to learn from them, and to give grace. It does not attempt to. Individuals are attracted to humility because it allows them to not just overshadow others, but also to elevate them. It is able to connect with their most fundamental need for love and acceptance when they come across someone who listens to them without judgment or hesitation. It is a reflection of my character that they face judgment. Allow humility to shape your outlook. As you engage in conversations, whether they take place at home, in the job, or among friends, you will find that your impact increases. In humility, you are a model of respect and empathy, and you are able to serve with complete dedication. It is possible to have feelings of envy if one does not love without conditions and maintains a clear stance against arrogance that wants to split. In the event that you see another person receiving a blessing that you have prayed for a long time, I strongly encourage you to rejoice with them, said that their blessing does not lessen the goodness that I have in store for you when you take pleasure in the accomplishments of another. You align your emotions with thankfulness rather than. Instead of claiming that my resources are limited, you assert that my resources are limitless. If you find yourself experiencing feelings of envy, please bring them to my attention so that I may assist you. Generosity has no boundaries. Reflect on the ways in which their blessing might inspire optimism for what I can do once you have transformed envy into inspiration, what you should accomplish in your life. Keep in mind that my schedule is different for each individual and what is ideal for you. It's possible that someone else isn't the ideal option for you right now, but you can trust my judgment. Wisdom. Keep your heart open and keep your soul appreciative. since in due time you will experience your own. During the harvest season, life unfolds in mundane moments that are interspersed with flashes of the amazing. Please do not hurry through the minutes of your day without taking the time to appreciate the beauty that they hold, irrespective of whether it is the sound of a child's laughing, the aroma of a delicious dinner, or the peace and quiet of an evening. When you take the time to pause and appreciate these moments, you create a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the sky, encourage you to discover reasons to rejoice even in the midst of the challenges you are facing, wonder and enhance your feeling of satisfaction. Humdrum, you should schedule time for relaxation, introspection, and true connection with the people you care about. By doing so, you will be able to. Take a moment to let your heart fill with thankfulness. Here is the place where genuine wealth may be found, not in the accumulation of material goods or acknowledgement, but in the process of preserving the benefits, both huge and tiny, that adorn your life. As soon as your heart is in sync with these benefits, your eyes will open to see my fingerprints spread all over the place around you. When this message comes to an end, allow it to become a seed that is planted in the soil of someone else. A fresh day is about to unroll before you, one that is replete with opportunities for personal development, love, and service. My presence is with you not only in the joys that you experience, but also in the most difficult challenges that you might encounter with difficulties. With a sense of serenity and confidence, knowing that I will lead you toward the life that I want for you, a life that is filled to the brim with healing and purpose. Take courage, darling child, and do not allow fear or discouragement to prevent you from embracing infinite optimism. Rob you of your concentration. You must continue, and you must keep your heart rooted in my promises. Despite all that has been said, my want is to heal your wounds. My promise is to care for your necessities, and my goal is to carry your burdens, and my promise to never abandon you as you go ahead. Believe that I will never abandon you. During the exact same time period, doors will open, storms will